Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and we're talking about Starfield. And now we haven't had the chance to talk about Starfield in quite a while because there hasn't been a lot of evidence really piling up for this title, but now I have enough where I figured I'd have a video worthy discussion to have with you guys. So we have a couple of things, and what we're talking about is a late 2017 release as well as an E3 2017 reveal, which is super exciting because that's actually pretty close. Mind you though, that as with all Starfield videos, this is mere speculation. We're not 100% sure if it's Bethesda Game Studios actually working on it, even though the evidence says so, given the fact that we looked at trade markings and deduced that only Bethesda Game Studios could be working on this type of game. If you're new to Starfield, I will have a link to that very video in the description down below. It should convince you to think the same thing that all of us are thinking. But if you're fine with just a simple synopsis of this is most likely Bethesda Game Studios' next video game, then feel free to continue watching on. So how did Matty get a late 2017 release date for this game? Well, a good friend of mine on Twitter, Tidix, who is an industry insider, actually had the following to say. Bethesda has a new IP in development, released late in 2017, space combat and planet exploration, not playable yet, it's an action RPG, and he tweeted this a year ago. Now mind you ladies and gentlemen, that this was also the industry insider who told us about Fallout 4's big E3 showcase, PS4, all this different type of stuff. So just like Shinobi, for example, Tidix does have a good track record, or rather I'd say good enough, to justify this tweet as something being plausible. So we have a late 2017 release that I'm talking about, but how am I deducing that there's going to be an E3 2017 reveal? Where am I getting that from? Well, believe it or not, something decent actually came out of Fallout 4 and Skyrim, the special editions mod cancellation news, when I was watching an old interview on GameSpot, and Todd Howard was talking about the short reveal cycle for Fallout 4 and how it released many months later. Todd talked about how he feels that no one wants to wait a year for a game. He also did mention though that Fallout 4 was one of the few rare cases where you could get away with something like that. But if we haven't noticed, ladies and gentlemen, this has become an industry trend now. You can look at many games now that are getting revealed and released within many months, which is super exciting. We've seen it with Battlefield 1, Fallout 4, and so on. So to have Starfield, Bethesda Game Studios' brand new IP, come out at E3 2017, shock people because people are most likely thinking that Bethesda Game Studios won't be coming out for a while, revealing their first brand new IP in a long while, and hopefully it looks awesome and exciting, and saying that it's releasing later this year is super cool. Because the curious will know that they're going to be able to get their answers soon. Those who are excited know they're going to be able to get their hands on what they want, and that's always good for the gamer to have the reveal and the release in a pretty close range. Some people might say that 2017 is a bit too soon since Fallout 4 came out just at the end of 2015, but I feel like Starfield's been in development for quite a while now. The reason I say this is because in an interview with Jeff Keighley at E3, Todd Howard actually said to him that they've been working on a lot of different things, and if he came out and said that during 2014, no one would have believed him, and because they had nothing to show for it. He used Fallout 4 and Fallout Shelter as an example, but he said something else as well, meaning that this new IP has likely been in development for a while. Now, some of us may argue that I'm making a bit of a stretch with that statement, and it's entirely possible, and I don't deny that, but still, I feel like the evidence stacks up where a reveal in 2017 could actually happen. Also, just from a personal opinion, I feel like Bethesda Game Studios needs to release games in a quicker span of time, because when that anticipation builds up like it did with Fallout 4, it puts these unrealistic, unattainable expectations on the development team and leads to an ultimate disappointment for a larger portion of the fan base that they're creating a game for. And so for me personally, I think if I'm Bethesda Game Studios, I'm trying to get games out faster because 1, they're a business, 2, their teams have expanded so they can get out games a lot faster, and 3, because it'll keep that hype down enough where people will be excited for their games as always, but they won't be this unattainable hype level where Bethesda can actually continue to make great products that'll satisfy the needs of gamers. Still, nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion of Starfield. It's been a while since we've had one of these talks, and so I was excited to bring this one to you guys. Let me know what you're thinking about it in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. The links are, as always, in the description down below. Check out SugarBomb.com, the place by Bethesda fans for Bethesda fans. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.